Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Over 10,000 Years Why Indians Are Still One Together. Are still together, I'm assuming. Hindustan, Bharat, Sadhguru, Adiyogi. Anyways, I don't think I said Bharat right. But anyways, I think I did react to the full video of this one, but it's been a long while. And I haven't quite, obviously I haven't watched the video yet, but I'm curious as to the question now. Is that still relatively true today? Meaning that I think for the most part, probably India still won. But is there internal conflicts, kind of? Like, you can say America is still one together. But there's a lot of internal conflicts that seems to be tearing it apart, or trying to anyway. I'm just wondering, and that's what I kind of see in the comments a little bit, especially with Sadhguru's young talks and stuff. And I don't think you can say blame Western culture for this. I think this is more along the lines, and something I've said before is developed areas. It's something I think you see in just developed areas where food, hunger, thirst, and shelter are not like the essentials anymore, because like Sadhguru says, you know, hunger, one problem. Hunger taken care of, 99 problems. And I do believe that. And that's the reason why I say about developed areas. Is because, again, when you're looking for those three things that are needed to live, those are the only problems you have in the world. Everything else, small problem. Not even a bother. You know, if I had those problems, I'd be fine. But these three problems are major. But once those three are taken care of, those other 99 that used to be small are major problems now. Because that's the only problem you have. Let's go ahead and get started this video. Weird start.
This one quality set us apart from the rest of the world, so outside world recognized as one nation, though there were so many political entities. We need to understand even today, it is only this spiritual thread which is keeping this as one nation. If you… right now it's being systematically hacked at. If you break this one thing, after 25–30 years, you will wonder, why are we one nation? And we will break.
Oh dang! This is the intro again. I keep forgetting that this YouTube channel does that. But yes, and basically it's kind of, again, I think for most nations when you start up, it's going to be one nation. Then eventually people, when I guess when it's so easy, it just they find problems. It almost seems like humans strive on problems. They want problems in their life so they know what to go against. If there's no problems, there's no struggle, then they got nothing to do.
Sadhguru, I hear you saying that A, the cultural ambience in which you live, that matters about the appropriateness. And B, it changes from time to time, generation to generation. In other words, people sometimes confuse taboos with morals, the changing fashions and attitudes with morals. But unless we have some kind of a yardstick which is measurable and somewhat universal in guiding our behavior and dealing with the society at large, or perhaps even in nature, how are we going to give people a yardstick other than religious edicts? That is the challenge for many agnostics, because we can't go by the 10 Commandments merely because God gave us those. We can't go by the Gita because Lord Vishnu told us so. We need a temporal yardstick. We need an institutional mechanism to be able to measure and say this is right, this is wrong, a talisman.
Trying to fix the human societies with morality will only bring more and more deception. And above all, it kills life in so many different ways. Why are we trying to fix life with morality? Essentially because we have never bothered to stir up humanity. There is something called as humanity within us. If you stir up this dimension, which we call as humanity, when somebody is feeling very human, he doesn't need morality. He will be fine the way he is. But instead of being a human being, he becomes a Christian or a Hindu or a Muslim or an Indian or a Pakistani or this or that, or so many things, caste, creed and many things. So instead of a human identity, he takes on a different identity. Now you can do most horrible things with great pride. Yes, you can kill thousands, not one. You can kill thousands and feel really good about it. I did it. because I did it for the nation, I did it for my religion, I did it for my caste, creed, whatever else. So your identity is shifting from your fundamental identity to make-believe identities. It may serve limited purpose. We are a nation because we have to politically manage ourselves.
Real quick. See, and here's where my idea is that there's nothing necessarily wrong with identities. I'll look at it like a tool. I can say I'm an American citizen. That doesn't mean a good or bad thing. It's just a stated fact. But if I use that to harm someone else, I'm using it as a weapon. If I use, like, I consider it like tools or weapons, you could say. I can use it as a way to help defend people, you know, whatever that means by saying I'm an American citizen. It doesn't really do much, but but by me using that, saying, because I'm an American citizen, I can do something. Because of this identity, I can do something against you. That's using it as a weapon, and it's a bad thing. Merely saying that I am that, no harm, no foul. I mean, it is what it is. And I heard a lot of, I remember reading a lot of comments on my videos about identity, like how there's a new pronoun created every day in America, and you know, that's definitely not wrong. While I don't care about the pronouns you call yourselves or anything, much like religion, much like any belief, you have no right to force that on anyone. So, and I guess the biggest problem too is the fact that a lot of these people, because you don't agree with one thing, they don't talk to you at all. If you don't call them by their pronouns, don't talk to you at all. While not necessarily a bad thing, or I want to say it's a bad thing, it is a bad thing. To some degree, because if you can't talk to someone about it as to why, you're never going to convince anyone. You'll never get them on your side, or you'll never understand why they don't do that. Having that dividing line, say I'm not going to talk to you because of this, will further divide the country, and it's just crazy. And it's the fact that they're going to want to push this into, more than likely, a illegal battle. I think I've heard Canada try to do that, and Jordan Peterson tried to stop that. I've heard, fact check that for sure. But imagine it becoming a very legal thing where if you mispronounce someone or dead name someone, it becomes illegal. And yeah, it's gonna be kind of crazy.
It is not some divine dictum that this is a nation like this. We are the people who drew the lines, isn't it? Now we believe that's how it is. For certain functional realities we draw lines, but that is not the reality. So a human being should essentially be identified as a human being, not by his religion, not by his race, not by his caste, creed, nationality, no. If he sits here as a human being, you will see he does not need morality. He will be fine. And that's what is needed in the society, to stir up humanity, not morality.
That's a terrific message, Sadhguru. Essentially what you're advocating is that go beyond the individual, go beyond the sect and the creed, and embrace humanity itself, and you will not go wrong in your actions.
I'm not saying embrace humanity, I'm saying you are human, isn't it? I don't have to teach you to be human, you are human. The problem is somebody else has taught you that you are something else. Somebody else has told you you're Indian, somebody else has told you you're Hindu, somebody else has told you you're Muslim. But the reality is you're human. If you travel 100 kilometers in India, people look different, they dress differently, they speak differently, different languages, our food is different, everything is different. But still, for over 10,000 years, the whole world has referred to us as one nation. Though we were over 200 political entities at some time, still, you know, we've been doing trade with Syria, Jerusalem, Damascus, Jerusalem, Greece, all these places for over 8,000, 10,000 years. Even at those times, they referred to this country as Hindustan, though there were 200 entities. It was referred to as one nation, as Bharatvarsh or Hindustan or whatever the name. Because somewhere people saw this as one nation, though it was ruled by many kings, because there was one ethos, which is something that the politicians and administrators and the people have never paid attention to. The only thing which keeps us as one nation is a certain fundamental spiritual ethos which is not on the surface but which is always there. In the sense, people recognize this as one nation from outside because they all believed in something. This nation has never been a nation of believers. We have been a nation of seekers because spiritual process has been the main thing. Here people are not believing in God, they're seeking mukti or liberation or freedom. There is a difference between a seeker and a believer. A believer means he's made a conclusion. A seeker means he's wide open. He's realized that he does not know, that's why he's seeking. This one quality set us apart from the rest of the world, so outside world recognized as one nation, though there were so many political entities. We need to understand even today, it is only this spiritual thread which is keeping this as one nation. If you… right now it's being systematically hacked at. If you break this one thing, after 25–30 years, you will wonder, why are we one nation? And we will break. If you do not strengthen the fundamental spiritual ethos of this nation, if you hack it down with beliefs and other kinds of identities, you will see, you will break up into various nations, you will not be one nation.
Sadhguru, I hear you clearly and I entirely agree with you that unless unity and order are kept even above liberty, if necessary, if there is a clash, we are in danger.
This is the reality of existence. If you sit here as a piece of life, you instantly know that there is nothing in the existence with which you are not connected. Essential dimension of spiritual process is that you disidentify yourself with all the false identities you have taken on, and to learn to sit here just as a piece of life. If you sit here as a piece of life, and throb as a piece of life, breathe as a piece of life. You know, this happened a few years ago because you mentioned this project Green, hence I'm bringing this on. When I said that we need to plant 114 million trees to get Tamil Nadu to 33% green cover, people said, Sadhguru, do you know what is 114 million? Is it possible for any human being to plant this many? See, I told them, the population of Tamil Nadu is 62 million people. If all of us plant one tree, take care of it for 2 years and plant for one more tree, what is the number? You got it. Now the problem is that they must feel for it. How do you do it? I told them, you don't worry. I went out village to village, called farmers' associations together. I told them one simple thing, just sit here. Where do you want to sit? In the sun or under the tree? Choose. You know what's the choice. Everybody sits under the tree. I said, see, are you breathing? Yes. I want you to understand what you exhale, the tree is inhaling. What the tree is exhaling, you are inhaling. Just sit here and feel it, it's happening. 1/2 of your lungs is hanging out there. It just caught like a fire. We've not planted 114 million trees, but 17 million trees. And Tamil Nadu's green cover has officially gone up by 7.2%. And we didn't give up our lives to do this. This is just one of the small things we do. Just that, if everybody gets involved, it's such a small job, isn't it? Why are they not getting involved? Because they're identified with something. If they sat here as a piece of life, nobody had to tell them. They would have anyway done it by themselves. So, it is because of these wrong identifications that we are doing all these crazy things, and you're trying to fix it with morality. It's not going to work. It's not worked for these thousands of years, isn't it?
Yeah, you know… I never really looked up the definition of morality, but I believe it's something along the lines of right and wrong. But then what is right and what is wrong? Some people can say that's very subjective. As a matter of fact, let me look up morality real quick. Some say it can be subjective. Some say it's not. Well, I know certain video over with me talking now. I know certain religion is very cut and dry. Principle concerning distinction between right and wrong, good behavior and bad behavior. Yeah, well, certain cultures there are certain behaviors that are good, certain behaviors that are bad, and then in other cultures those things are flip flop. So what Sadhguru is saying there is very much right to a lot of degrees, and I'm wondering if they're going to go to the core. Like, I guess, is there a hard defined morality, as in, obviously, killing is wrong. What else? I'll say causing harm to someone else, generally speaking, wrong. I guess the intent matters a lot. You can punch someone. That could be a friendly punch, though. Like, I can't believe you just hit them, and they're like, "Ow!" I'm joking. You harmed them, technically speaking, but it was a friendly gesture. The intent wasn't really to cause real physical pain. A little bit. It is a little bit, but not like, damage, I suppose. I don't know how to describe it. Like, real intent pain. You want to cause them pain a little bit, yes. But, the intent wasn't evil, I suppose, or bad. It's just a painful, friendly punch. But yeah, I never really looked up if there is hard-to-find moralities of good and bad. The obvious one, killing another person, is bad. That is pretty straightforward. There's a difference between self-defense, though, in my opinion. Now, I don't know. Again, like I said, I don't know if there's any video out there that says this is the good morality and this is the bad. Making other people happy? Good. But what are those things? I don't know. You give someone a balloon, makes them happy. Give someone a balloon, give another person a balloon, does nothing. So, was it really good? Was giving a balloon a good one? To some, yes. To some, no. But I'm thinking there's some general ideas. It's very difficult to define, and Sadhguru's right. But maybe, I guess, the thing that are linking what Sadhguru says in morality is the fact that if you're just being human, you would not want to cause harm to other people. So that's the morality there. And then you just want to be good. That's the morality there. But morality of good and morality of bad is very kind of vague and kind of not too well defined in a lot of aspects. I guess that's all I can really say about that. But anyways, let me ask anyone who cares to answer. You don't have to if you don't want to. Are Indians still one together? Are they mostly united? I'd say in the United States, mostly united. Mostly united. I'll say that twice. But there are a lot of quarrels. There's definitely, hopefully, the issues. This very minority issue. Minor issue, that's what I meant to say. This minor issues that are being brought up. Certain minor issues, of course. There are major issues, absolutely. That's probably always going to be the case. But there are certain minor issues that are kind of bad. I mean, are just really not really worth fighting for, because, and it's so much to go into. But nothing's changed. Whatever they want, they can already have. They just want to force it onto other people. It's the problem. That's the minor issues. They have every right that anyone else has, but they just want their beliefs to be enforced on someone else, and that's the problem. There are major issues in the country, absolutely. Probably every country has one. Every major issue. Will this country ever have a not major issue? Probably not. I don't know if there's any country out there without a major issue. Perhaps maybe in the earlier years, maybe. But I think most countries, if not all countries, has always a major issue. Whether how major it is all a different story. So anyway, this was a reaction to Over 10,000 Years, Why Indians Are Still One Together. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.